Lesson 5. Hans Holbein and Tudor Portraits. Hans Holbein the Younger was a portrait painter and printmaker who was one of Henry VIII's favourite painters. He was born in Germany and his father was also called Hans Holbein, who was a famous painter himself. Hans Holbein the Younger moved to England in 1526, where he became very popular at Henry's court. He painted many different portraits of King Henry VIII and other members of the royal family and important people at the court. His paintings are known for their realistic details, as well as including symbols to show messages about the person, their status and personality. He fell out with Henry after painting Anne of Cleves. Henry blamed Hans for tricking him into a marriage with Anne, saying her portrait was misleading. Holbein died in London in 1543, possibly due to the plague. Unfortunately, many of his works have been lost over time, including some of his religious paintings and murals. Tudor portraits are very important both in the Tudor era and today. They were used to show the strength, importance and power of members of the Tudor monarchy, a Tudor-style ad campaign to help legitimise their rule. Tudor portraits are still important today as they give us clues into what the Tudors looked like, their lives and lifestyles of people in the Tudor era. Then we can see how people dressed, lived and what they deemed important. We do need to be careful in believing everything shown in a Tudor portrait. They're used to show off their best qualities, and often certain features would be emphasised or changed according to the beauty fashions of the time. Also, did you know there's no existing portraits of Anne Boleyn from when she was alive? The famous portrait of Anne was commissioned by Elizabeth I after she was made queen and based upon her memories of her mother. As Anne was executed when Elizabeth was only 2 years old, these memories are questionable, and the portrait is unlikely to be a good representation of how the real Anne Boleyn looked. For your Tudor portrait activity, you're going to create your own Tudor portrait. Why not get someone important to you and set up a scene with them sitting in it? You might want to think about what they're wearing and what's in the background, and also what they're holding or in the foreground. Then take a photo of it so that they don't have to sit there for hours. Use the photograph to create your own Tudor portrait. You could sketch it first with pencil and then fill it in with paint. Remember that the Tudors often use symbols or hidden messages in their paintings to give clues to the person's personality or what they were interested in. What symbols could you include in your portrait?